Welcome to this morning's keynote, Leading the Change in Medical Device Packaging, featuring Amy Stewart, Product Development Manager at PrintPack Medical and Institute of Packaging Professionals Medical Device Packaging Technical Committee Board Chairperson. This keynote is presented with Virtual Engineering Week partner IOPP Medical Device Packaging Technical Committee. The CDC estimates that on any given day, 1 in every 31 hospital patients has at least one healthcare-associated infection. It's these odds that draw professionals from medical device manufacturers, their packaging supply partners and package designers, and every individual who feels the gravity of packaging integrity to patient safety to lead change. Please welcome Amy, who along with her colleagues will be answering questions through the chat box during this keynote presentation.
Good morning and welcome to Leading the Change. My name is Amy Stewart. I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am the Product Development Manager for PrintPack Medical. Thank you for joining this session from wherever you are finding your safe 6 feet distance. I am Chairperson for the Medical Device Technical Committee of the Institute of Packaging Professionals. I work alongside fellow medical device packaging professionals to bring value through the collaboration of all our members in the value chain, from suppliers to customers, and partners in education and the media. I'm someone who believes that where you have passion, you owe it to not only others, but to yourself to make a difference. I'd like to thank the many technical leaders who have established the foundational knowledge in medical device packaging. I refer to some of the guidance as biblical. Every new medical device packaging professional is handed these at the front door and continues to refer back to these many times. These technical leaders share the knowledge at industry conferences and webinars, including in this week's Virtual Engineering Week. They share their passion with thoughtful introspection. How can we do better? Leading the change is a message to continue to inspire the next generation of leaders to do the same. As medical packaging professionals in a pandemic, we have to consider the impact we can make and are making on the world's healthcare needs. In the medical device packaging industry, we're witnessing thousands of essential workers in our manufacturing plants continue the production of sterilization packaging. This includes production of sterilization packaging for COVID tests, surgeries, and other healthcare needs, including some life-sustaining medical needs in this pandemic. We're finding vendors of plastic swabs for COVID tests. We're reaching out to our film suppliers for materials to make face shields. We're supporting emergency packaging changes in how N95 masks are sterilized. Our MDPTC membership is doing our part to support the COVID efforts to not only ensure supply continuity, but also create emergency packaging solutions, while keeping our eyes on the horizon for impending influences on packaging design requirements. Over 25 years ago, I started my career in food packaging. I cut my teeth in manufacturing and technical roles, including process engineering and product development. Many years later, I pivoted into medical device packaging, where the expectations on the final packaging were exponentially more complex. Through my session today, I will be highlighting the growth and maturity of our industry and what it's seen and continues to see thanks to some technical contributors and leaders in medical device packaging. I hope something you hear inspires you to take your experience to the next level. Leading the change for medical device packaging is technical leadership. If you believe this is a challenging field for packaging professionals, choose your opportunity to make a difference rather than react to the world's landmines. Embrace the uncertainty and ambiguity and create order and direction. Our work is risk averse, but we can and should shift the paradigm to not just be early adopters of change, but to lead it. In less than the time it takes to get Zoom ready these days, you'll find out how you can be part of leading the change in medical device packaging. I'll cover some foundational knowledge of medical device packaging, why we need sterile packaging, for the benefit of our audience members who are new to medical device packaging or who support non-technical areas in our industry. We'll talk about how the regulatory landscape creates opportunities, not challenges. We'll talk about organizations driving change in medical device packaging. As the chairperson of IOPP Medical Device Packaging Technical Committee, I will share how we're building the pipeline of industry professionals with a number of active and new programs. Then stay tuned for a live Q&A where you'll meet two of MDPTC's board members, Vice Chairperson Jennifer Benolkin, Packaging Engineer, MDM, and Regulatory Specialist at DuPont, and Secretary Jeff Schwartz, R&D Packaging Engineer with Boston Scientific. For even the most experienced packaging professional, those who spend their lives dedicated to creating novel packaging value, the lexicon of sterile barrier system or sterile packaging may be novel itself. Improper packaging results in far more worse implications than off flavors, consumer complaints, or disappointing customer sales. For medical device packaging, improper packaging for a medical device and failure to maintain a sterile barrier system can affect patient safety or mean something far more serious, endangering human life. The human body has a natural defense against microorganisms. Some microorganisms contain diseases, and these pathogens weaken the body's natural defenses. In a healthcare setting, the sterile field and sterile medical devices are key to supporting our body's natural defenses against healthcare associated infections. But a sterility breach in the medical device packaging that contains the medical device used in a procedure can give way to dangerous pathogens. The CDC estimates that on any given day, 1 in every 31 hospital patients has at least one HAI, while medical device packaging user research has shown both direct and indirect causes for contamination. Nonetheless, a sterility breach of the medical device packaging is a recognized issue. Sterility is a critical factor in patient care and safety. The packaging around medical devices that allows those devices to be sterilized provides a microbial barrier and maintains sterility effectively up into the point of use. A sterile barrier system is an essential part of a sterile medical device. A sterile barrier system is defined as the minimum packaging configuration that provides a microbial barrier and allows aseptic presentation of the product at the point of use. This is distinct from protective packaging, which is defined as the packaging configuration designed to prevent damage to the sterile barrier system and its contents from the time of their assembly until the point of use. Manufacturing medical devices and their sterile barrier systems exist in a highly regulated environment. There are three primary attributes of medical device packaging: integrity, strength, and microbial barrier. Prior to receiving regulatory approvals, the SBS must pass testing including packaging, distribution, and aging studies. The SBS must prove that it is capable of withstanding the expected transit life cycle. Package distribution test samples must contain product or representative product that has been sealed at equipment, case conditions, and sterilized. Expected transit life includes processing, handling, sterilization, transit, and warehousing. Typical distribution simulation for medical devices is defined in ASTM D4169 Standard Practice for Performance Testing of Shipping Containers and Systems, DC13. Testing intensity is determined by the specific device and system. Final testing after simulation proves strength and the integrity of the SBS. Aging studies must be completed prior to receiving regulatory approvals to prove the SBS is still intact at the end of the labeled shelf life. Testing must verify package strength and integrity after the desired time points. Accelerated aging can be completed for regulatory submission, but real-time aging samples must be run in parallel. When performed together, integrity and strength testing provide documented evidence, both qualitatively and quantitatively, that the SBS is robust and appropriate to maintain product integrity. Package integrity testing is important in determining the sterility and the shelf life of a medical device or product. This is done by documenting the SBS system has no detectable path through channels or punctures that may allow the introduction of microbes into the system. Examples of packaging integrity testing, as well as strength testing and microbial testing, are listed in the Nelson's Lab reference guide. Visual inspection should also be used to confirm package integrity. The standard for visual inspection is ASTM F1886 and F1886M, standard test method for determining integrity of seals for flexible packaging by visual inspection. Package strength testing shows the force required to separate the two components of the sterile barrier system. Packaging strength is important to show that the protecting the product is strong enough to contain the product system after distribution or aging. Seal strength also allows the medical device manufacturer to to confirm the reproducibility of their sealing processes and adherence to design specifications. Throughout this presentation, I will highlight some technical leaders leading the change, including speakers at Virtual Engineering Week. IOPP Medical Device Packaging Technical Committee member Jeff Pavey, Technical Fellow Technology Manager from Oliver Healthcare, is passionately working to improve data-driven knowledge and industry guidance regarding the current convention of the 1 pound minimum seal strength. You can follow the progress on ASTM Workgroup 57656. Microbial barrier tests evaluate the package's ability to withstand microbial penetration. Material selection for microbial barrier is important to ensure the package will maintain sterility from the point of sterilization until it is open for use. Microbial barrier testing helps us to understand the packaging material will perform as a microbial barrier during handling, distribution, and storage post-sterilization. How the regulatory environment creates opportunities, not challenges. Despite a relentless pandemic, pre-COVID-19 deadlines and activities pertaining to the regulatory landscape for medical device packaging industry are in full effect. I've captured a few current narratives in our industry where an opportunity to lead may resonate with you. Other alternative sterilization methods. In 2019, ethylene oxide sterilization came under public scrutiny from civil protests for plant closures to allegations to support class action lawsuits. There are links of ETO gas as a carcinogen to a list of health issues. Sterilization destroys all microorganisms on the surface of an article or in a fluid to prevent disease transmission associated with the use of them. Sterilized medical devices are critical to our healthcare system and patient safety. With 50% of the medical devices sterilized by ETO gas, the impact to a tighter sterilization supply chain threatened device shortages. ETO is the only sterilization method for a large number of delicate, complex, and sophisticated medical devices. The FDA is working with sterilization experts, medical device manufacturers, and other government agencies. In September 2019, the FDA presented the FDA Innovation Challenge. There are two approaches. One, identify new sterilization methods and technologies that do not use ETO. And two, reduce ethylene oxide emission strategies. The FDA received 46 applications from companies and selected 11 applications. These applications run the gamut of innovative ideas and novel methods, included nitrogen dioxide sterilization, vapor hydrogen peroxide sterilization, reduced sterilant concentration, and use of ethylene oxide flexible chamber technology, to name a few. One of the lesser employed sterilization is X-ray. The sterilization method is determined by the medical device manufacturer. Technically speaking, material compatibility of the device composition and the sterilization packaging would define the applicability of X-ray sterilization. The historical challenge with the X-ray sterilization has been the availability of the supplier who has the expertise in a high-powered electron accelerator. Despite its lack of exposure, it combines the best of both E-beam and gamma. E-beam's rapid turnaround times and flexibility with gamma's pallet configuration for processing and relatively low dose ratios makes it a compelling option. Another benefit is its environmental narrative. because X-ray technology is based on the use of electricity as the sterilization agent rather than cobalt-60 or ethylene oxide gas. It provides a much cleaner and more sustainable alternative. The industry is seeing a move towards opening more e-beam and X-ray facilities. The intent is to increase capacity in gamma by moving applicable products to e-beam and X-ray. Even so, novel sterilization methods in X-ray only represent less than 5% of the market use. Compliance. European Medical Device Regulation application has been approved to restart May 2021. The MDR is a new set of regulations that governs the production and distribution of medical devices in Europe. Compliance with the regulation is mandatory for medical device companies that want to sell their products in the European marketplace. A critical issue that may bet a critical issue is that some notified bodies cannot do on-site audits due to the pandemic restrictions. MedTech Europe made a proposal for virtual audits, but authorities are not yet in full agreement, so this could have an impact on conformity assessment procedures or create issues for MDMs to place products on the market. Thanks to Terry Wagner, Global Director of Regulatory and Standards Healthcare DuPont, Safety and Construction, for this update this week. Terry is presenting today at 10 a.m. on developing international consensus standards for sterile packaging meeting regulatory requirements. At HealthPack, MD PTC Board Treasurer Jennifer Griffin, Senior Principal Package Engineer from Medtronic, took us through an inside look at packaging engineering workload for EU MDR changes. The EU MDR replaces two previous directives in the European Union, the Active Implantable Medical Devices Directive and the Medical Devices Directive. Sweeping changes create plenty of opportunity for packaging engineers to provide leadership in aligning optimized approaches to satisfy new requirements and to be a focal point for implementing these changes. Sustainability. The global market for plastic healthcare packaging is 14.6 billion pounds in 2020. This is estimated to increase by more than 5% each year to be more than 18 billion pounds in 2025. Today, most of the plastic ends up in landfills. While we all recognize the many benefits that plastic provides for better healthcare, the environmental footprint is hard to ignore. The Healthcare Plastics Recycling Council, or HPRC, has been working with leading companies across the plastics value chain to enable and inspire recycling of plastics. As part of their work, the Council has identified the following design practices that makes it easier for packaging materials to be recycled. 1. Designing the mono material whenever possible. 2. Using polyolefin seals or gaskets on polypropylene bottles. 3. Combining chemically compatible or jointly processable plastics if multiple materials are required. 4. Using materials that are easily separated during automated recycling processes if multiple materials are required. 5. Using breathable plastics as an alternative to paper. 6. Minimizing paper labels and components. 7. Using water-based adhesives. 8. Allowing for bottles and bags to be fully drained with ease before disposal. 9. Providing information on contents that allow for easy identification of residual liquids. And 10. Minimizing pigments. Thanks to Paulina Chu, Vice President of the Antia Group and Executive Director of HBRC for leading the change. You can learn more about Paulina's on Virtual Engineering Week's Recycling and Circularity in Healthcare Plastics. I wanted to share how other industry organizations are leading change in medical device packaging. It's worth noting that many technical leaders and companies hold memberships in multiple industry organizations, including IOPP, SPMC, AMI, and ASTM. The broad reach offers more opportunities for collaboration and to find your passion to lead the change. The Sterilization Packaging Manufacturing Council, or SPMC, a council of the FPA, has founded Sterile Packaging Day. The launch of the inaugural Sterile Packaging Day is March 10, 2021. Sterile Packaging Day brings awareness to the importance of aseptic packaging to ensure patient safety in healthcare settings. Healthcare professionals around the world are provided peace of mind when they know their tools are protected from contamination and safe for patients. To do this, manufacturers of sterile packaging adhere to the most rigorous standards to deliver quality product packaging solutions for the healthcare, pharmaceutical, and life sciences industries. The date of Sterile Packaging Day aligns closely with Patient Safety Awareness Week to endorse the significance of supply chain and patient safety. There will be more information coming out on the SPMC LinkedIn page and other social media outlets on how you can celebrate regulatory bodies, medical device manufacturers, sterilization packaging manufacturers, healthcare professionals, healthcare settings, and the patient. From the 2019 Kilmer Conference, the genesis of a new group called Kilmer Innovations in Packaging was born. MDPTC Board Vice Chairperson Jennifer Bonolkin, Packaging Engineering MDM and Regulatory Specialist at DuPont, and IOPP MDPTC member Rod Patch, Engineering and Product Labeling Senior Director at Johnson & Johnson Vision, share the history of the Kilmer Conference and lead the ongoing conversation on medical device packaging innovation. Kilmer Innovations is in Packaging's vision is improving patient outcome and clinician delight through the science and engineering of sustainable packaging. Also, we appreciate our media partners in our membership who play a role in the future of medical device packaging. IOPP MDPTC member Charlie Webb, CEO of Vanderstuhl Scientific, and podcaster hosts Jennifer and Rod on Spot Radio. These folks deliver on raising awareness and the call to action to medical device packaging innovation conversation. Medical Device Packaging Technical Committee members Jennifer Bonolkin and Rod Patch are leading the change. Hear about driving innovation in medical device packaging during Virtual Engineering Week. How we're building the pipeline of the next generation of medical device packaging experts. Medical Device Packaging Technical Committee Board is dedicated to this committee and the industry and making a huge impact. We're working closely with Jane Chase, IOPP Executive Director, to create the value our membership expects from our organizations. We have a great partnership with IOPP Director of Education, Jim George. Certified industry expertise and experience is an area that IOPP leads the way, having done so for the past 40 years with the IOPP certification of packaging professionals. The Fundamentals of Medical Device Packaging course initiative is scheduled for fall 2021. One of the strengths of the program is giving newer professionals to the industry a one-stop event for a wide breadth of hands-on education and equipment demonstrations at the show. The curriculum is developed by the same industry contributors who work and influence the packaging guidance developed by ASTM and AMI. Another exciting program and key focus is network and professional development. The Rookie Outreach Program was a need articulated by our membership. We're excited about the momentum and the number of volunteers not only to lead the initiatives, but to be a mentor. Through the University Outreach Program, universities and colleges are anxious to pave a way for their packaging students to gain early access into the medical device packaging industry. We also offer a Health Pack Student Scholarship, which is awarded annually to give a promising student interested in medical packaging an opportunity to interact with industry professional. Here's a picture of Chris Kelly from UW Stout at HealthPack 2019. These and other programs were shared in our first virtual medical device packaging technical committee all members meeting in October. We are pleased that it exceeded our membership's expectations based on a poll. We're at the end of the presentation. I want to thank you for your valuable time today. We're doing good things in IOPP Medical Device Packaging Technical Committee to gear up for more thought leaders and contributors to medical device packaging. This is our Medical Device Packaging Technical Committee members' demographics. As you can see, we have a strong membership represented across the value chain. Mountaintops inspire leaders, but valleys mature them. I read a great perspective on this Winston Churchill quote. Growth happens down in the valley, down where the going is rough, where you have no spectacular view, and where there are many obstacles. Valleys challenge your stamina. So simply the call to action is to lead the change. Thank you for watching. Share a LinkedIn post on how you're leading the change. I've shared just a few technical leadership stories, but we want to hear more on the Institute of Packaging Professional website or LinkedIn site or MDPTC memberships page. Become a member of the Institute of Packaging Professionals and the Medical Device Packaging Technical Committee. Thank you to my industry colleagues on the MDPTC board, Jennifer Benolkin, Jeff Schwartz, Danette Casper, Jennifer Griffin, Karen Green, Seema Momin, David DeVicaro, Rob Sakelski. It's been a rewarding 12-month journey on how we can serve the medical device packaging industry and our membership. In closing, I started with Know Your Passion and Lean In to Make a Difference. In a few minutes, I will be joined by two MDPTC board members who continue to champion their passions in the medical device packaging industry. Jennifer Benolkin, Board Vice Chairperson and Packaging Engineer, MDM and Regulatory Specialist at DuPont, and Jeff Schwartz, Board Secretary, R&D Packaging Engineer with Boston Scientific. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this Virtual Engineering Week session. Don't forget, you can build your schedule by clicking on the Agenda button and tapping the calendar icon to the right of the session. There are more than 100 sessions running over the course of Virtual Engineering Week, so be sure to save and catch all the sessions in your schedule.